What is up, ladies and gentlemen?
What is going on, everybody?
Welcome back. Stogies N Stuff, episode 26. We are live, caffeinated, and ready to break down this week's agenda.
Yeah, buddy.
Before we get into it, though, got to do what we got to do. Let's do this.
Fell in love with you.
That's right.
Guys like us just don't follow the fucking sky, you know?
Jam session.
Be like Mikey, bro. My son, when he hears this part, he's going,
Guys like us just don't follow the sky, you know? Let's go, baby.
You can just feel it. You feel it go through you, man. Spiritual.
Let's keep floating, let's keep floating, let's keep moaning.
All right, we're ready. We're vibing. Ready
Fucking
to break,
vibing, dude.
break
That's
it
got
down.
me in a good ass mood now. Yeah.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Speaking about vibing and everything, you know, big event happened this past weekend.
Huge event.
Last Sunday.
Apparently the most telecast event in the world, or recorded.
Super Bowl, baby. You know,
Yep,
there was
Super Bowl.
a lot of interesting things that Mike and I, you know, Super Bowl is something that obviously has already been proven to be something worldwide now that's watched. Well, definitely nationally, but it's making its appearances worldwide now. There's a lot of different countries showing these different time zones, etc. But obviously, whatever is shown is going to be brought up, right? That's why you got high expensive ads on there.
Yeah,
right?
I think this year was $7 million for a 30-second slot.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Even our boy Ye showed up. For
Yeah,
a bit.
he did. He's like, I spent all my budget on this video, so I'm recording from my phone.
Yeah, he's just, you know, Kanye being Kanye. Just I'm gonna just push out a video straight from my damn phone, and hey, you know what? That's raw, it's organic, and it worked.
It did.
Highly effective.
It did. And before we get into the main topic, the fact that you brought up Yeezy, that dude put everything for $20 on his website,
Everything.
Yeezy.com. Everything. Yeezy Pods, which I spent $200 for.
You know, I told Mike I don't
For
like
20
him.
bucks.
I didn't
I
like
still haven't
him.
gotten them yet. But
The boy didn't got scammed. I mean,
no shit.
Kanye's cool, guys. Believe it or not, I think he's cool.
Yeah, he's
great
badass.
musician.
I'd spend that money again.
Sometimes I can't do what Mike does. Sometimes, you know, I don't agree with everything he's pushing out and stuff. I like some of the things he pushes as far as like apparel and stuff. Obviously, we like his music, but you know, our boy has got a specific taste
Yeah, he
towards
does.
things.
He
And so,
does.
anyways, if you ever want to throw out any ads at Mike, he's the special audience to do that. And that guy will buy anything that pops up on his damn feed. Just kidding, Mike.
Calling me out.
I'm just messing. But jumping right into it, okay, there was in my opinion, Mike and I were talking about it, and even during the Super Bowl, there was a lot of very eventful things popping up. And you know, Mike and I being NFL enthusiasts, been watching Super Bowl since as far back as I can remember. We pay attention, and commercials is a big one. Players' responses and you know, their composure during games is a big one too. So that's going to be one of the big topics I want to bring up right now.
Yeah.
I know the fire's already been set out. You guys, I'm getting into it. I'm already telling you, look, everything's good and nice and dandy with what I'm about to bring up, you know, but it's got to be brought up because at the end of the day, our message here, guys, as always, is about being a better person. You know, be better. That's an issue what Mike and I talk about. Bringing about personal excellence.
Right.
Okay. Right. Would you agree, Mike?
I definitely agree.
So that was definitely not shown by Mr. Travis Kelce and him pushing you know, head coach Andy Reid. You know, that
Look,
just no go.
Well, I mean, that's right. You know that it's going to be a highly televised event. Going into this, I think we said we wouldn't even doubt that this would probably break records, which it did.
It did.
I think over 127 million people tuned in to this, something like that, or 124. I can't recall the specific number. But the point is, you knowing it's going to be that highly televised, knowing that there's going to be multiple cameras on people of significance during that game, one of them being the coach and one of them being Kelce. You pull that shit. You pull that stunt. You let your emotions get the best of you rather than being a composed 30-plus-year-old man. You act like a fucking child. You go out there, you push an old man as if, you know, they're still in their prime youth. And the guy almost stumbles. Like, you look at the footage, the coach is startled, bro.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and show that real quick.
Yeah.
Because obviously Mike and I are going to have an opinion on it. We want you guys to see the same thing. I'm pretty sure most of you have already seen it. And like I said, Travis Kelce and his brother kind of already spoke about it, that it was unacceptable on our end, but still needs to be brought up, right? At least we feel. And so...
No, it does.
Just want to get you guys' thoughts on it too. But let's play this real quick.
Travis Kelce took quite a bit of heat for a moment on the sidelines where he shoved his head coach Andy Reid, who was screaming in his face. You can see it there
Look at
on
that
the
shit.
sideline after a fumble deep into Niners territory. He was mad that he wasn't on the field. He did address this incident a little bit earlier today on his podcast. Take a listen.
Sometimes those emotions get away from me, man, and that's been the battle of my career. But everybody else, I don't give a what anybody else says. I talked to Coach Reid about it today. We kind of chuckled about it. It's definitely unacceptable, and I immediately wish I would took it back. Coach Reid actually came right up to me after that and didn't even have harsh words for me.
So they blocked them off already.
And Andy Reid did really downplay this exchange. He said that Kelce just caught him when he wasn't looking and that his balance is terrible and that's why he was caught off balance. But he said, his player just wanted to be on the field, wanted to play, emotions were running high. And we've seen this before, players acting out of character.
Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, we get it, guys. I mean, initially what they're saying is just true. Emotions are high. Everybody's playing at a high level, and these guys are professionals. They take the game very serious.
Right.
They're very highly. They're motivated by pure passion for the game, right? Most of the time, and it's really hard for most players to keep their composure. I think you mostly you expect that from quarterbacks or initially anybody that's leading the team.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is this, okay? Andy Reid, I think, did a great job on
downplaying it.
Yeah, downplaying it for one, making sure this player stayed intact instead of having I fucked up. Because if you guys watched the game, for the whole first half until he came back, he was in that mindset. Because obviously him and the coach can't just go have a one-on-one during the game and say like, "Oh, it's okay, man. Don't worry." No, this guy was like, "Fuck, I fucked up. I don't know what's gonna happen." And if you guys know Kelce's history, He's done stupid shit before that have possibly cost him his career. Days. And his brother Jason had to go ahead and come basically to his rescue and get him back on the team and stuff. Yeah. So, look, you expect someone of this high caliber and influence to basically be better. Right now, I'm not saying he's not human. Hey, he's able to make mistakes. Thankfully, this wasn't a career-ending one. And I think everything would have probably been different. There's no way of us knowing, but I think everything would have been way different if Kelce or the Chiefs, I'm not going to say Kelce, but if the Chiefs would have lost the Super Bowl. Oh, right? Yeah. If they would have lost the Super Bowl, everything that they did bad during the game would have definitely been brought up.
Yeah, this would have been highlighted for sure. This would have been a
highlight for sure. Could this have been the reason why they lost, right? Which is why, guys, when you guys are out and about and you've initially, become, an influencer of young minds and even older minds, right? Because I think Mike and I are older than he is, right? Or maybe I am, I think. I'm 32.
You're the same age.
Oh, same age.
He's 33 or 34.
So the thing is, you've entered this role where... And it comes with the territory, right? You gotta be better. You gotta keep composed. That doesn't mean you can't lash out and be passionate about it, but channel the energy correctly.
I mean, you're spot on. The point of the matter is, who you are. This is the biggest platform on that day that people are going to watch. You've got eyes on you. And I understand human. I understand heat of the moment. I get all of that. But unfortunately, that doesn't apply to you. And the reason why is because damn well you're in that situation. So a pass is one thing, right? And a pass is okay for a normal person, someone that's maybe, not used to that, whatever. But this is your third Super Bowl, dude. Well, actually, fourth Super Bowl. Like, what it takes. You know that you need to be composed. You know what it takes to be out there. You've got
the experience already.
I'd expect this from a novice, maybe like a rookie or someone within their 3 years. But you're what, like almost 10 years in or more? And or maybe like a 10-year vet around there.
Man, the reason...
Think about it. You know what I mean?
The reason why... Yeah, no, you're right. And the thing is, the reason why it's so much... It's very crucial nowadays, at least for I guess anybody trying to bring awareness on certain behaviors. The reason why it's so important that we're bringing this up is because nowadays, just pay attention to the young minds and the influence that they're currently getting. And this is kind of like a foreshadow of what Mike and I are going to talk about a little later in the podcast. But there is constant influence and certain behaviors that are trying to be pushed out to kids as far as what's acceptable. And initially, there's nothing about what's unacceptable. And this in the matter is, this is something that can't necessarily be happening. Mike and I, locally here, guys, I mean, we've got viewers from all across the world, right, watching us. Again, our subscribers are growing. We love the community.
Weekly, guys,
but
weekly.
Even here where we are in the state of Texas, right, Rio Grande Valley, we're noticing that kids are starting to feel entitled towards, hey, my feelings are important above all else. And if that means I got to bring you down to make people accept what my beliefs are, even if they are wrong. I don't care if you're telling me I'm wrong. I'm a child and my beliefs matter. What I'm getting at is now coaches are being basically recorded now, right? Yeah. Set up by kids to, tempt the coaches to, lash out on them and then get them in trouble and get them fired. That's happened down here to a few coaches we know, and it fucking sucks. Yep. Nowadays, basically behaviors like this, you see Travis Kelce and then the matter that, it's because he's just highly passionate, blah, blah, blah,
All these excuses.
Kids start to see that, it's okay. I mean, professionals do it, so I can do it too.
That's exactly right.
And it becomes like, what the fuck? Back in our day when Mike and I were playing sports, and I'm talking about our generation, not previous generations, but even with our day, it wasn't uncommon for you to be fucking put in place by the actual coach. Right. And you had to fucking take that shit. It's part of being a man, right. Molding our minds as men, saying, hey, you got responsibilities, you made commitments, you said you were going to be a part of this team, and this is what we fucking expect of you. Fuck what you feel. If it doesn't align with the team's value overall, then I'm sorry, then you need to get your shit straight or get the fuck out, right? So I think Reid, knowing and coming from that generation too, and quite frankly, Kelce should have come from that too. But obviously, like I said, he's got a track record. And I'm not saying Kelce is a bad guy. I mean, I don't know the guy, right? I appreciate his craft. I think he's fucking great at what he's doing.
He's a great player.
What he does, him and his brother, Yeah. They have a strong relationship they have a strong relationship the way we do, which just says a lot about a human being too. Mm-hmm. If you can take care of family, that's already a great start. But always, guys, there's always a way for us to be better, right? And again, Mike and I, initially what we try and contribute here with this whole podcast is personal excellence. Accountability is what touches along that, being a better human being, et cetera, breaking agendas, all that.
That's exactly right, guys. I mean, the point here is understand your audience. You understand that you're influencing many young minds. And with that, not to sound cliche, but fuck it, with that great power comes great responsibility.
Be better, bro. Be better.
Just fuck it, man. I mean, just you gotta keep yourself higher accountability. Keep yourself
better. You're a good man,
Kels. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I don't know you, but based off of the factors of, it looks like you got a really close relationship with your brother. It looks like you guys are cool. Maybe you are a good guy. I'd give you the benefit of the doubt. But don't be pulling that shit, Bubba.
You want to know something? If you watched our previous podcast, Mike and I were saying, we're gonna be rooting for the Chiefs because we can't let the 49ers win and have more Super Bowl wins. Right. But after this, bro, I was like, fuck, I kind of don't want to be rooting for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and I kept telling people.
Yeah, I kept telling people, I was like, I like the 49ers players more, at least as far as like their character and stuff. Like,
it's because I see the Chiefs and I see divas. I see the 49ers and I see a system, a disciplined system, like a bunch of players that know what they're there to do. And then you see the Chiefs, and it's like you've got a bunch of superstars on there. That's what you have. And they pulled out the win. I mean, they're a good fucking team. They're clutch. But yeah, when I saw that happen, I remember I immediately walked over to my brother, and it's like, fuck, dude. I don't even know if I want to root for the Chiefs anymore. Just because of that bad rep that they got immediately after that scenario. After they showed what Kelce did with the coach. And I was like, I don't know if I want to go for them anymore, man. Like seeing that shit happen real time tells you a lot about a person.
Yeah, it does.
And, we all know the rule. You can do 100 great things, but you do one bad thing, and you're going to be remembered for that one bad thing.
You're pretty much
And that's kind of what happened here. And it's a stereotype. It's a weird way and cliche way to think, but it's true. It's got some weight to it.
Mm-hmm.
I just think overall, Kels, I mean, you learn from your mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Fuck it. But don't let that shit happen again, man. And I know you already said you don't give a shit what people have to say. Whatever. If you are a man that's open to wisdom, you're going to listen and you're going to adjust, because great wisdom knows that you don't fucking know it all. And you're not going to just listen to particular people. Everybody has a different perspective on things. And the sooner you are open to listening to people, whether you take it in or not, is the true question. But listening does not hurt, right? It's being able to vet and being given that context. So what's always important is the context of the information. You don't obviously just go in there blind, right? If you want to learn something new, make sure you do your due diligence, have some context about it, and then go and expose yourself. But you can't put the cart before the horse. You can't get exposed to something you know nothing about.
I like that. Okay, so that was one of many events that was brought up. Unfortunately, guys, Mike and I don't come across as we're just completely fucking conservative. But there was something that just didn't sit right with us.
Nope.
And I'm pretty sure you guys saw it too, but it was the whole washing of the feet. Remember, Mike and I are Christians, okay? We have our belief. We have our beliefs, and we know what's right, we know what's wrong, and according to our Bible and what's been said by God Himself,
it's on you,
Lord Jesus Christ, who claims He is Him. So not claims, but is Him and proves it. But anyways, that's a whole nother topic. I want to talk about. There was this commercial that came about, and like I said, commercials are well known in Super Bowl for basically pushing out something of an agenda. That's basically what Mike and I are doing here, breaking the agendas down. It's safe
to say that they spent $14 million fucking dollars on this. Mm-hmm. It was a minute
for an ad. Now let's go ahead and play this. It's called the foot washing ad, right? Washing of the feet.
Don't ask me what you know is true.
It starts off good.
Yep.
Humility. Humbleness.
It's humility, that's right. I get that.
That's when it starts getting questionable. I see what we get there. The last two images.
Hold on, this is the important part.
Jesus didn't teach hate.
He washed feet. He gets us, all of us.
Okay.
Like, do you realize how misconstrued, not even just contextually, but biblically this is? So we all go back, and we go back to specifically John chapter 13, verse 8. It says, unless I wash you, you have no part with me. This goes back to the time of the Last Supper and all 12 disciples. And Jesus washed the feet of all 12 disciples. And at that time, there was no servant present. So Jesus offered the service himself. And he washed the feet of all 12 disciples because at the time, obviously, they all wore sandals or they were barefoot. So no matter what, your feet were always dirty. And prior to having any dinner, it was custom to have your feet washed so you go to the table clean. Now, Jesus did this service because what he showed was, even though they were all disciples of his, you always have to humble yourself. You have to be humble about it and reveal your humility and show that no one is above anyone. And what he did was he offered the service of washing his feet to the point where disciple Peter said, no, don't wash my feet. And Jesus told him this, unless I wash you, you have no part with me. Now, what does that mean? Unless I wash, you have no part with me. He's saying, if you're not able to allow me to do this, that tells me that you're not going to be putting yourself below others to help. You're not going to be a servant. You're not going to do what I do to others. You're not going to lower yourself and be able to do this service to somebody. So if something happens to me, which he already knew was coming, I am not going to be able to rely and know that you're not going to lower yourself and do that same service for somebody else.
Exactly.
It was a way of showing humility. And not only that, we all know what it is to be baptized when you're cleansed with the water. You're cleansed through Jesus Christ. This was obviously another way of when you wash the feet, you're brought anew. That is clearly what they're trying to tap into. Not really the humility part, but they're trying to misconstrue this as Jesus washed feet to clean us. Jesus wants you to accept homosexuality. No. The idea was these people as disciples needed to be able to level and empathize with the people that they were going to be spreading the message to. They needed to be able to lower themselves and provide a service to people so that whenever you had people of lower humility or people that don't understand the message, they come down to their level, they empathize, and they give the message the way they need to.
Yeah, man. I mean, so at first when this ad first popped up, I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is nice. Like, okay, they're going about it the right way. They're bringing back initially the values of what it is for washing your feet, right? As Mike, this basically touches a form of repentance also. But again, right. The overall gist of it all was during the New Testament, I believe that's just part of it. It has a new meaning of humility, as Mike mentioned, right? And so anyways, it goes about it right from showing a generation, right? Obviously you have his son and his father. Then you got, just two individuals. Unfortunately, I think this touches kind of minorities, right? You got an African American and you've got a Hispanic, Latino, which looks like our Theo right there.
And
right?
the police force. Yeah, no shit.
You got young teenagers, great, young minds moving forward, washing each other's feet. You got two different groups, elderly men, obviously helping each other.
Yeah, it's the Cowboys and the Indians. They're putting like all this conflict. They're showing the historical conflicts.
That's right. Maybe a mother and I don't know, and a daughter, maybe just, I don't know. It keeps adding different situations that are obviously hard, right?
Yeah, look AI generated, by the way.
And obviously, everything here you can tell is completely AI generated, right? But this is as soon as this second to the last scene hits, that's when it gets a little weird. You've got these two gentlemen, and then it goes, it's like it prepares you for the next one, right? Then you've got, I'm not sure if they're pushing transgender or, And of course, obviously a priest here washing another man's foot. And it's just the way it's all presented. That's when you end up seeing the hidden agenda. And I emphasize on hidden agenda because obviously it was all disguised as a good message until then this hit, right? And then at the very end, of course, Jesus didn't teach hate. He washed feet, right?
That's the problem. It has nothing to do with hate
at all.
Like, what the fuck? Look, whether other people come out and talk about it or not, I don't give a shit. I'm going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it because don't be blasphemous. Don't misconstrue the word. It's one thing to discuss it and give your opinion, but it's another to put it in a stage like this and make it seem as if that is the message to take.
And look at the comments itself, man. I mean, let's see what people are saying.
He washed feet.
Bro, this is what we just said. Bro, this is the most AI generated looking set of images I've ever seen. I agree. It's completely AI from what you can tell. People, hope you all enjoyed the ratio. As a Christian, I can't help but wonder how many feet you have to wash for the price of telling others to wash feet at Super Bowl. Came here for the comments, so people already know that, okay, there's going to be a lot of hate here or a lot of controversy here.
Look at that one. I like that one. Jesus ate with sinners. You were about to read it.
Yeah. Jesus ate with sinners, but didn't condone their activity either. Jesus is meant to change the sinner, not sinners change who Jesus is.
Fuck.
So let's go deeper into that because you agree to that.
That is good.
Exactly. So instead of initially what Mike and I believe, and you guys can leave your opinions in the comments, but our belief on this is the fact that this agenda here is trying to get you guys to accept initially the last image's behavior, which is accepting anything, I guess the word I have to use or the acronym is LGBTQ behavior, right? Or activities or their agenda from transgender, gay men, gay women, etc. Right? It's a whole agenda in itself already. Started off as something of more of just, okay, let people do initially what they want to do. If they choose that they want to sin, okay, then that's on you guys. But now it's getting to the point where it's like, no, you guys need to accept us.
Right. You're going to sin with me.
In your society. And Mike and I started having like this whole we got real into it, a deep dive conversation.
We got into a deep
why
dive
are
conversation.
they doing this, right?
The agenda.
So the agenda that Mike and I came about with was this. When you talk about sinful acts and the devil's tactic, right? Is initially it has to be shown, acknowledged, right? Literally, like it's and willingly, right? And so, what better way to get everybody to commit to sin than to have the society right now which is in the greatest nation in the world
most
right
influential,
now, right?
most powerful
under God, as we claim, I believe we once were. Obviously, we've lost that. We've
lost our way.
But the agenda again is willingly getting people to accept in the society that a sinful act such as this is okay, and we completely accept it. And this is complete and pure manipulation, from my opinion. Yeah. Right? Manipulating God's word. And obviously, those are with fake prophets, it touches all those kind of things, right? So, guys, again, if you guys choose to sin, that's on you. And initially, we are straight with our biblical beliefs, our religion. We are Christians, right? So, when it comes into obviously the biggest debate always comes down to, is it okay to be gay or initially push out this kind of behavior, right? And it's complex, right? That's what we talk about, how, black, white, and gray areas. But at the end of the day, guys, whether you're paying attention to the Old or New Testaments, it's a sin, okay? It's lust, and it's not okay. That's right. Okay, it was declared by Moses in the book of Leviticus. I think it even comes out obviously in the very beginning in Genesis, Romans. I mean, it's constantly preached through a variety of different books, right? Old and New Testaments. And at the end of the day, God is whole, God is one, God is perfect. His testament does not change. Okay. So if people try and say, well, in the Old Testament and now the New Testament, well, I'm sorry, his word never changed. His word is his word.
You're not going to find those inconsistencies.
Yeah. And there's a penalty for it. Okay. So if you guys choose to go ahead and do any wrongdoings, that's above your choice. But at the end of the day, don't try and go ahead. And again, this is always the biggest debate. Don't try and get us to accept your wrongful or wrongdoing behaviors just because you basically understand that it is a sin in itself. And if you didn't think that, then why are you trying to push this agenda out so heavily?
Right. Like, guys, look, understand this. I know gay people. I know homosexuals. I have nothing against them.
Me either.
I respect them as a person.
Exactly.
And, I always pray for you in whatever you do. But what you do is what you do. And I'm okay with that. Not that it matters if I'm okay with it, but I'm telling you my personal respect. I'm not going to give you shit for it. And I'm never going to tell you, you're doing wrong. Because that's the equivalent of what you're trying to do to us. For those people that are that way, you need to accept us. It's the equivalent of me going out there and saying, you're doing wrong. Repent. Repent right now. You need to repent or else you're going to be damned forever. I don't do that shit. You're not, you're not being a person if you do something like that. And we're not doing it. So just respect us. Respect our opinions as well. If you've chosen that path and, it's a due diligence decision, well, then the best to you, and I will pray for you. But I'm never going to condone your actions. And I'm never going to accept it.
Mike and I don't hate anybody, guys.
I don't. I have no hate whatsoever.
We've said it in the very beginning. Love is love. We have relationships with so many different people, so many different groups. And so naturally, Mike and I just don't hate for no reason.
No,
and we won't. It's really rare for us to hate. So unless someone has initially caused any kind of harm to our family or anything of the sort, it's a little different, right? Obviously, we'll ask for forgiveness for thinking certain things, but that's a whole other thing. Yeah. So again, guys, that's our stance on everything. This was initially what Mike and I started this podcast for, bringing about hidden agendas and things like that. And that was just something we had to make sure we talk about with you ladies and gents. And it didn't sit well with us. So just, if you agree with us, awesome. If you don't, we respect your opinion, but we can agree to disagree, okay?
Yes. We could always talk about it too. You tell me what authority are you relying on to say that it's okay to do that. Because even from an instinctual standpoint, it doesn't make sense biologically to do it that way. If we're talking pure science, a species would die out within a couple generations.
Yeah.
Like, really think about it. If we really condone that behavior, and let's just say everybody was part of that community now, the entire world, you're talking a diminish of the population within 3 generations to like.
And initially,
billions.
also that's part of the agenda. What people are always talking about, all these conspiracy theorists, which I think Mike and I are like borderline listening to it here and there. We try not to be.
I'm always listening.
Mike is. I don't. I like to be a little bit more rational, but they're making more and more sense. You know, one of the conspiracy theories is that they're just trying to completely stop
population control.
Yeah, exactly.
Down to 500 million.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. You know, from abortions to obviously now if you get people of the same sex to get together and be in a relationship, that means less population also. You know, you're not getting
understand why they're doing that though, right?
Yeah, go.
And really the reason is to keep control. Mm-hmm. The more people you have,
the easier, the harder it is to control.
The harder it is to
less
control.
People, more control. Exactly. So, but okay, I feel like we are just talking about Super Bowl events. There's still one more thing I want to bring up. Mm-hmm. Again, which is the whole, did you guys catch wind of that whole Black National Anthem? Right?
Yes.
I don't know how I initially felt too much about it. I understand that there's history there. Mike and I basically are considered minorities too, or come from a minority background. Sorry to say, correcting myself. But this was initially what was pushed out very beginning of this, before the Super Bowl kickoff, right? Andra Day. Lift every voice and sing. So I'm just going to show a bit.
Yeah.
She sings beautiful. I can't deny that.
Oh, yeah.
She's got an amazing voice. Very passionate. Really nice. Okay, I think that's enough. Anyways, the point is there was a Black National Anthem, right? And it became very controversial, right? The controversy was, because there's a Black National Anthem, does that mean they have their own country now? Right. Granted, there's been a lot of debate here and there between influential podcasters and influential TV hosts, etc. TV host, one of them you guys know highly, especially in the sports world, Stephen A. Smith. Guy's got an opinion on everything, not afraid to be vocal about his stance on things. And a very well-known podcaster, Megyn Kelly, actually tweeted about this also. But the so-called Black National Anthem does not belong at the Super Bowl. We already have a national anthem. It includes everyone. Apparently, Megyn Kelly has a reputation of being pretty well-versed with history, right? So for her to even come across this and share her opinion on this, I understand. And why I bring up the whole history part is because obviously the whole Black National Anthem came across during, I guess, the whole, basically the whole Civil War, right? During Abraham Lincoln's period. And I think it was first presented when all of it was over and it was sang for President Abraham Lincoln,
for his
right?
birthday.
Exactly. So great. That's great, guys. Awesome. History matters. That's for sure. But when it, I'm sorry, I know this is a sensitive topic, and believe it or not, Mike and I are not fucking racist. So before you try and throw that card, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because again, we're fucking Hispanic, and at the same time, we're dark skinned, guys. We're fucking naturally tan. Get the fuck over it. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. But now that's out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we're in a country where, let's be honest, first world fucking problems.
Yep.
If you guys aren't actually dealing with any kind of fucking racist, then why are you still continuing to bring this shit up? It's like you can acknowledge that history happened, but at the same time, if it really isn't relevant anymore, why the fuck are you still trying to come about it as if there's a division in the fucking country? At the end of the day, we do have one national anthem, a national anthem that is for all,
inclusive
of its
everybody.
Citizens. Exactly.
Who had a dream, brother?
Martin Luther King, my man.
That's right. And the big testimonial of his dream was that there was not to be a segregation. There was not to be a black and white anymore. That it was just to be one under God. And that's a paraphrase summary of his speech, but we all know the speech I'm referencing. Now, I hope you guys understand that through his vision a lot was accomplished, and through his acts, a lot was accomplished. And to make it seem as if it is still at that level today, you'd be ludicrous and you'd be stupid, and I would tell you you're stupid. Because though there is still some racism, and I would also argue reverse racism, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's prevalent. And that doesn't mean that it's what dominates or controls the country anymore. I mean, guys, we had a black president already. Barack Obama.
That's right.
We haven't even had a Mexican president. Shit.
Yeah, what about us? We're all Mexicans, all Latinos. Tío Juan, where
I'm
are
gonna tell you
you?
something right now. Mexicans don't give a fuck.
Nah.
Like, you tell us racist shit, I'm gonna laugh with you.
Bro, I was like, damn,
I
that
think
was
it's
a good
fucking
one,
hilarious.
motherfucker.
The point is, words only have as much weight as you put them, and words, at the end of the day, are just words. They do carry meaning when you want it to, when it comes with a purpose, and there's no other way to get a message across, like no actions. But when words are used to demean you, then just shake that shit off. There's no reason why you should equate what people of color went through back then, because that was real shit. You're talking about lynching. You're talking about being burned alive, drowning. You're talking about slavery.
That's fucking horrible.
That was horrible, guys. Nations went to war about it. What those people went through back then. That's not happening anymore. At least at the mainstream level. It's not. And for you to continue to put it as if it's, at least within this country, a big issue and something that's dominating everything, I think most general people would agree, like, okay, like, where is this happening? Because it's not happening where I'm at.
And it goes back to
the media is going to put it as if it's everywhere.
And like I said, the media is always trying to push out a new agenda, right?
Yes.
And so it goes back to when the whole Black Lives Matter was fucking being pushed out, right? It was like, well, what about all lives matter? And all of a sudden everybody took it so offensive. Oh, why do you guys got to make it about everybody? It's about black. It's like, because it is about everybody.
And that
in
organization
reality,
went down too.
I mean, go back to the Bible. It's not like it's just talking about a certain race.
Right.
I mean, it's talking about people in general, everybody, right? So, guys, I mean, this is just what we talk about. In order to control people, or at least never let people actually unify, it's to completely divide them. And this is a clear indication of that happening, right? We're not saying don't acknowledge and appreciate your history, but what we're saying, when it's in cases like this where we should necessarily be unified, it's like, well, fuck, why are you trying to do the complete opposite and separate us? It's like if we're saying, hey, we're Mexicans, we should have a fucking our Mexican national anthem, pushed out here. And
right.
They don't even consider us because what? I mean, it's, at least in football, you don't have many fucking Mexicans at the pro level there, right? But still, like, we're not pushing that shit out. So, I as Mike was speaking, I brought up Stephen A. Smith's point on this, and watch this real quick. Watch. He said something.
Remember her? The Trump-backed Republican out of Arizona. Y'all remember who she is? She declined to stand for the quote-unquote Black National
So this is him.
Colorado's
explaining people's response on this.
Tweeted her objection, stating, quote, America only has one national anthem. Why is the NFL trying to divide us by playing multiple? Do football, not wokeness. Okay? But of course, then there was Megyn Kelly.
Megyn Kelly.
Megyn Kelly is a very popular podcaster who used to work at Fox News. She's a former Fox News host. I've had the pleasure of meeting her on several occasions. She said, quote, tweeted, quote, the Black National Anthem does not belong at the Super Bowl. We already have a national anthem and it includes everyone. That's what she said. And of course she has her supporters, because there were plenty of people who spoke up on her behalf. And obviously, Kerry Lake was one of them, Bo Burke was another, along with several others, because they felt that the Black National Anthem was, quote, a manufactured push for segregation. You see, before I say anything else, let me first say, I'm sick and tired of folks out there, particularly in the black community, being so quick to throw out the word racism.
That's what we just said. Go
When you
figure.
throw out the word racism, do me a favor. Have more evidence before you do it so it can't be dismissed via plausible deniability or something else. I don't know Megyn Kelly at all. Okay? I don't find her statement to be racist. I find it to be, in her eyes, patriotic. I find it to be, in her eyes, self-righteous. I find her to be a bit detached from reality being faced by black Americans everywhere. I got that part. But I can't go in the way that I wanted to go in about her when people are out there from my community just throwing out the word racist. You don't know that about her.
That's not true.
You don't know that about her.
No, it's not. It's not
And when
true.
you say something like that, you dilute the potency
I
and
agree.
the importance of the argument.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something that's very unpopular, but it factually needs to be addressed. I don't expect white people to have the sensibilities of black people. I don't expect somebody white to get it about black people the way I expect black people to get it about black people. I may not like it. Megyn Kelly, if you're watching, you're listening, I don't like what you said at all.
All right, so he doesn't like what she
I think
said.
it comes across as highly insensitive. You cannot take into account history. You cannot acknowledge, because you are a historian. I've heard you, I've watched you, I've listened to you, profound respect for you. I will even listen to your interview, your lengthy interview with my former colleague at ESPN, Sage Steele, who a lot of people don't like, but I respect and I like. Because I've known Sage Steele for nearly 30 years. It doesn't mean I agree with everything she says. I certainly don't agree with all of her politics, but I've known her for years, and I respect her. What I'm saying to you, however, Megyn Kelly, I'm only bringing up her name to let you know I've listened to you on many occasions.
Let's see what his stance is.
We run across each other during my visits at Fox News in the past. And respect is obviously something you should require because your body of work is that significant. I get it. But you ain't black.
Okay, we get that. He ain't black. I ain't black. I'm Mexican.
You haven't been
I'm Hispanic.
marginalized and ostracized and treated.
Okay,
in the
I see what
manner
he's
that
trying to
black
push out
people
now.
have been treated. Now, as a woman,
Stephen, have you?
you have certainly had your challenges. Last time I checked, the person who gave you the most grief about being a woman was the former president of the United States, who's the front runner for the GOP nomination. He's the one that was very disrespectful to you, very dismissive, brought up stuff that I'm not about to repeat.
I think that's a whole other topic right
Yeah,
now.
it is.
He's dovetailing to something else.
He's
Yeah, he is.
I'm not going to do that, but you know it. He was very insulting, very demeaning, marginalizing, all of this stuff, very degrading. That was a GOP candidate. I love how all of these GOP folks jump to one another's defense, but you're going to negate who was the most insulting to you. But I digress. My point is as a woman,
Yeah, you see, he knew it.
Yeah.
So I had
I'm certainly not
digress.
qualified to speak to your plight and your challenges and the manner of things that you've had to overcome. Although you are a white woman, and everybody knows when you talk about stuff like affirmative action, the biggest beneficiaries of affirmative action have been white women. Not that that qualifies with you. I'm just saying. I'm using that point to highlight.
Come on, Stephen.
no matter what
Get
it
to
is
a
that
point.
you've been through, I'm willing to bet
He's doing an indirect attack.
it's nothing compared to what black people have gone through.
Have gone
Have.
through.
So all I'm saying
Past
is, if you
tense.
ain't black, you may not understand. And if you don't understand,
Yeah.
why not be neutral?
So it's like then us coming about it as if he ain't Mexican, then you don't understand.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is, guys, we are part of an actual nation, right? United States of America that's
Right.
supposed to be fucking unified. That at the end of the day has a background of the whole boiling pot, right? The whole where it's diverse groups.
yes.
You know,
It's all
in
diverse.
one, that's initially what makes us different. That's initially what makes us so great. So again, why go back to making the debate, Stephen, or Stiffen, or whatever? I don't even know. Yeah, Stephen, just bring about the debate that, okay, because we're not black, we don't understand. The point of the matter is, yes, that was history, and that was at one point a very valid argument.
Right.
But you can't necessarily make that argument anymore, man.
You're going back. Yeah, you're literally going back and try to apply an argument from back then to today. It is not nearly near the severity of it. You acknowledge yourself. You said have gone through. Who's going through it today? Like, what are you going through? There's not lynching. There's none of that fucking hardcore shit that actually needed to be addressed, and thank God was addressed. I will admit, colored people went through fucked up shit.
Yeah.
You went through fucked up shit, and I thank God that you don't have to go through that anymore, myself included, because I would have been subject to that shit. But guys, it's not happening anymore. And you know what? If it does happen, then shame on to the people that do it. Shame on those people, because they're the ones that are going to look stupid. They're the ones going to look like, hey, you're stuck in the past, get the fuck over it.
That's right.
It's been acknowledged. It's okay to acknowledge history was there. It's okay to have certain memorable moments like February, or Black History Month. It's okay to have those things because it's a reminder of us not to go back to what we were. Mm-hmm. But don't treat it as if it's still a problem today, because you're just reviving it, and you're just making it something that's, it is still happening today. You're making it something as if it needs to continue to be fought at as the same level it was before. And that's not the case, guys. It's not a perfect system. I'm telling you right now, it's never going to fucking go away. Color is always going to be looked at no matter what. But it's important to keep the violence away. It's important to keep fucked up situations where rights are taken away from you. It's important, I agree, to address that. But that shit's not happening today. If it's personal issues with what people are doing, then hold those people accountable. Fuck it. I agree with that. But that is not the rule today. The rule benefits everybody. Whatever fucking color you are, whether you're purple, pink, blue, whatever the fuck. The rules support what you want to do. Don't make it seem as if they don't.
Well, obviously, this is the beauty of this country, guys. We get to go ahead and agree to disagree, as we keep saying. Yep. And if you have your own opinion, share them. Obviously, we're not promoting hate.
And give me current situations. You got an opinion. Give me some shit that's happening like today, documented. Not something fucking happened in the 60s.
That's right.
Jim Crow era.
That's right. So, yeah, I mean, man, I didn't expect for us to have a whole podcast full of Super Bowl events, right? But there was a lot of different shit happening, man. It was...
And it's the biggest platform. It needs to be addressed.
It is. And obviously, there were some more things that we saw, but I think those were the biggest things that...
Like Trump?
That really, yeah.
After his 300... What? How much? 380-some million verdict against him?
Oh, I mean, what was it? Like 350 mil, I think.
Oh, was it?
Shit, I don't even know anymore. Let's see. Damn. Okay.
450 million? Oh, after prejudgment interest, that's right. Fuck. And then what does he bust out the next day after the civil fraud case?
Okay, so let's make this the last topic, okay? Because we just got a headline of this.
Yeah.
So Trump just got, pretty much just, fuck. Anyway, this title says it all. Judge fined Donald Trump more than $350 million, bars him from running businesses in New York for 3 years. The amount exceeds $450 million. Trump said on Friday night that he would appeal. So great, cool. At least they're going to appeal this, right? But damn, it's over civil business fraud trial. If anything, you guys need to be paying Donald Trump. Pay the man instead, New York.
Pay him.
Pay his ass. But aside from us getting this earlier this morning while Mike and I were drinking our coffee and looking up current events, we then got this. Check this out. Trump unveils sneaker line. Let's see what they look like. Hold on.
So we could show this. Trump today announcing he's launching his own line of footwear. I don't know, Paul, you're going to be picking up a pair of these.
That's a businessman.
Pair. Apparently come in a steep $400.
Oh shit!
Look at that. You know what? We should buy some, bro.
Fuck it.
That's gonna
buy some.
That's gonna be historically.
It is.
That's gonna be historic.
I'm gonna buy some.
No, I think it's interesting. He actually knows a lot about feet because you remember he dodged service in Vietnam by.
He dodged
CNN.
So he's got very soft and delicate feet. And so
damn, fucking ad hominem attacks.
Very soft man.
A very soft man. That's what they're saying.
Right.
I don't know. The point is, he's got some feet. He's got some shoes, some sneakers coming out. Obviously, very gold, like his hair. But
yeah, no shit.
His hair is blonde. I know, guys, it's not gold, but I'm making a point. Okay.
Right.
Anyways, it falls right in line with his personality. his physical appearances. I don't know, Mike. I think we should buy some, bro. I think
we should, and we'll show y'all next video.
I'm gonna order some, and then maybe I'll rock them. I probably won't be able to rock them.
Let's just split it, bro, because we're not gonna wear them.
Well, we'll have them. And hey, remember, when this one time president pushed them out. I mean, I have a feeling that they're gonna be, I don't know, a collector's or something. It's gonna be a
collector's not anytime soon. Now,
yeah.
Dude. It's gonna be like when a president busted out a shoe line.
Yeah, these are all historic events, guys. Unfortunately, it sucks. It's at the expense of our former president, but these are all matters to take into account. But again, this is the agenda that we're breaking down. It sucks. And I mean, let's be honest, New York is it's fallen completely. Who even takes New York serious anymore? Right. Next to California, next to LA. I mean, you got its own citizens, pretty much what made the cities they are, leaving. It's like, fuck this place. This place is shit now, right?
No shit.
So, I don't know. I mean, anyways, Mike and I gotta get some sneakers.
Sneaker time, baby.
Sneaker time, man. We gotta help this man succeed. Bring him back to office.
Guys, appreciate you tuning in as always. Hope you're taking away the nuggets you need to from this. I hope we're stirring conversation.
That's right.
We're growing weekly basis.
Love it.
Keep count of our subscriber count. You'll notice that. And if we're ever wrong about anything, we invite you to discuss it with us.
That's right. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes the episode. Okay.
Out.